Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Bed Tech Show. We're your hosts, Ben and Ethan, and we've got some exciting tech news for you here at bedtime. Starting off, I'm going to go with Fisker Ocean and whether it's a buy or a sell. So I want to get everyone's opinion on this, and including yours, Ben. But with that, Fisker Ocean has had quite a rocky ride as of late. There have been quite a few reviews that have come forth on YouTube for this. Um, MKBHD did a review on it as well as Doug DeMuro. And looking at their vehicle, they had a lot of mixed things that came with it. You know, there were a lot of good things, a lot of unique and, as Doug would put it, quirky features with the car. However, as a total package, it didn't seem to deliver in what they were doing. In MKBHD's autofocus review that he did of it, he said it was, quote, the worst vehicle he has ever tested on the channel. And based on the other cars that he reviews on his channel, it is the worst because he usually has higher end vehicles that most people wouldn't ever drive. Nevertheless, he did say that it was the worst vehicle that he had ever tested. And since that review has come forth, um, stock price of Fisker has gone down the drain, and they are on the verge of bankruptcy. They have slashed their prices nearly in half of all of their vehicles and stopped production. While Marquez's review wasn't exactly the greatest of that, Doug DeMuro did have some more positive things to say about Fisker Ocean, citing that the review of the car itself it is pretty good, while MKB HD's review was more focused on the tech, which seems to be a little lacking on the tech front. So, with that, it begs the question whether Fisker Ocean is a buy or a sell. Ben, what are your thoughts on this?
Uh, well, if you are investing in the actual stock price, I'm going with like a buy. I mean, it dropped significantly, so buy low, sell high. That's my thought. Um, I've heard a couple different things about it. I didn't watch the full MKBHD review, but I saw a lot of clips and I saw him on a podcast. I saw him talking about on the podcast, and he was saying how there was just a lot of misconception around his statement of this is the worst vehicle he's reviewed on his channel, and people just think, oh, that means it's the worst vehicle ever that he's ever had, and that's not the case. But um, he did say that there's some reasons for it. I do think Fisker is making improvements on the vehicle. And I think they were trying to give MKBHD like that Fisker Ocean 2.0 or something like that.
Yeah, he had another car put out another review of it as well.
Okay, was it consistent? I didn't see the second.
Um, I would say like overall, he still didn't recommend the vehicle, but he
Hmm.
did highlight some of the improvements and some of the benefits. I think it was really, I think it was a good thing that Fisker had the, I guess, audacity to send that back to him to do another review, knowing that it still probably wouldn't be the best PR for the company. Nevertheless, they did make that move, and um, the the new software has some improvements. It's a little bit more manageable. I think it's a good looking vehicle for what it is, but I think they've missed the mark, and it kind of gets at what is called feature creep. I mean, it has a lot of weird and quirky features that I think could be great, but as a whole package, it just doesn't seem to be cohesive enough to work.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree that the vehicle looks really cool. It reminds me of the Discovery. Or maybe it's not the Discovery. Maybe there's another like Range Rover that's like the smaller compact SUV. Um, I'm trying to look it up right now, actually. I want to make sure I get the right name. It's not the Discovery. It's maybe it is the Discovery. Hmm. Anyway, but it reminded me a lot of that vehicle, and which I like the look of it. I really do like the look of it. And before the Fisker Ocean was even like uh, able to purchase for retail, my wife and I were looking at all the different features of it when it was announced, and we thought it was really cool. There are some quirky features, I agree, but I think for the most part, I thought it was a really cool vehicle. I think the initial price point was where I was like, "Whoa, that's really expensive for uh, this being kind of like a flagship, your first flagship product that no one really knows about." I mean, I feel like they're coming in newer to the EV game, and their price point was really high at the for the Fisker Ocean, and the fact that they're having to cut pricing significantly in order to keep people to somewhat interested in buying, that just kind of shows, you guys they might have been pricing way outside of their market than what they should have been. So for me, uh, I would stay away because I just don't think overall it's competitive in the EV market. Just in general, I mean, just even if we don't look at like the reviews and the issues that it has, um, I don't think it's competitive when you compare it to other EVs in the market. What is really prompting me to buy this over a Tesla, which I know has so many more user-friendly features and also infrastructure. Why would I buy the Fisker Ocean over that,
Right.
or anything else for that matter? And so that coupled with the negative reviews, and I've seen other user experiences with the Fisker Ocean. Like I saw a video the other day where someone posted on their TikTok, like how many clicks does it take for my Fisker Ocean to realize I'm unlocking it? And they did 27 unlock clicks on their key before it actually
Wow.
acknowledged it and unlocked. I couldn't believe that. And that like blew me away and also made me realize there's definitely a lot of issues here.
Great
Um,
theft deterrent
yeah,
and
yeah,
owner deterrent too.
yeah, great theft deterrent indeed, right? but probably more so the owner deterrent than anything, because like the theft is probably not going to use the key anyway. I'm just going to bash the window. So yeah, I'm staying away from Fisker Ocean. I hope to see more improvements. I'd say give it maybe, if they stay in the game, give it maybe 2 or 3 generations of vehicles before really anything turns around. But I I don't know. I'm staying away.
Yeah.
Stock price, maybe you buy because it's so low, but actual vehicle, probably not.
Yeah, and I think they were even taken off of the stock market now because their price had
Oh,
gotten so low. I think it was down to
wow.
9 cents before it was taken off.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. 9 cents, dude. Oh my gosh.
So yeah. Yeah, with how they're going and the company trajectory, I don't think this is a great buy because I don't think the company's going to be around long enough to fulfill any promises that they have made.
Dude, I am oh my gosh. I'm looking at the Fisker Ocean website right now. Listen to this, dude. Fisker Ocean Ultra, originally 53, now 35. Fisker Ocean Extreme, originally 61.6, now 37.6. That's a 30K takedown, bro.
Uh-huh.
Holy crap. Holy crap, dude. That's so crazy.
I mean, like if you wanted to just get into EVs and like knowing that this company's not going to be around, that price is amazing
Yeah,
for
I
what you
agree.
get for it.
Yeah, especially since they try and market themselves as more like the luxury end,
Hmm.
not like ultra high luxury, but more on the luxury end of the EVs, right?
Right.
Um, that's just so crazy to me. The Fisker Ocean Extreme 37K, ready to ship in as few as 2 days. The Extreme has the solar panels on top, I think,
Yeah.
which I heard isn't really that effective.
Yeah. I mean, I think they left it outside. The autofocus channel left it outside for a week and it gained maybe like 9 miles. So,
Yeah, I heard on a different channel, not specifically for the Fisker Ocean, but people have asked in the past, like, why don't regular vehicles have solar panels on top? And I heard it because of the combination of the weight. The weight causes the vehicle to move slower, and the amount of energy that it collects at the rate that it collects energy, it doesn't offset the slowed down pace and the extra energy that it's required to move such a heavier load if you have solar panels on top. Um, so like that, the combination there and that calculation, the ratio calculation, just it didn't make sense. It wasn't net positive on the energy. That's really interesting to hear though that the review they left them out for what you said 9 days.
about a week. Yeah. While they had it.
Days. Wow. Yeah, that's
So,
great.
so I
That's so.
guess that's why solar panels aren't on vehicles.
Yep.
But yeah, for me, I'm staying away from this. It's cool that they tried, but and kind of sad that it didn't work out. And I heard like Nissan was kind of uh, in talks of buying them out, and they decided not to go with it. So
Wow. Wow. That's so crazy.
yeah, so
Interesting.
maybe we'll see in a couple of weeks whether bankruptcy is on the horizon.
Yeah. Is the Fisker Ocean the car that has like the handle? I'm looking at a photo right now, and I remember seeing a video about like the handle on the back to get to the roof. You see,
Uh,
is that the right one?
no, I don't think it's this one. I know the new Santa Fe, Hyundai Santa Fe's have that
Oh,
grip
that's right.
handle, and
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Like,
Okay. So you like that, huh?
yeah, I think that's a cool feature. I mean, it'd be nice like if you ever had something up top, have a little stability as you're stepping up there.
Okay, fair enough. I've heard counter arguments of like people are just gonna use that as like an ashtray for their cigarettes or like can you imagine all the acorns being stored in there by the squirrel, like the local
Uh,
squirrel?
yeah,
So
I don't know if their implementation of it is the greatest. However, I think that idea is is a nifty idea.
yeah, actually I do agree because there have been times when I've packed like the top of my minivan and you're standing on the tire as you're like moving things around with your hands and you're like if I lean too far, if I'm trying to move something heavy on top of the vehicle, I don't have like any kind of leverage, you
Hmm.
know? So I guess that's fair. That's a good point. But yeah, Fisker sucks. That's
Yep.
crazy.
All right, what do you got for us tonight?
All right. First one I'm gonna go with is Amazon. Amazon's in the news. Bad PR for Amazon here. I thought this was so funny. So the reports are coming out. So I don't know if you remember this, Ethan, but Amazon had this huge, innovation of next level of grocery shopping, where you walk in their grocery store, you grab whatever you want, and then you walk out, and
Yep.
that's it, and you get charged, and Amazon knows how much you get charged based on like the item you pick up, cameras everywhere, and like the weight of the item, the location of the item, etc. And they talked about how they're technology, their AI, was doing the work of calculating how much to charge your Amazon account. So reports are coming out that it's not actually quite AI. It's actually 1,000 workers in India. So they're watching on the cameras and fact checking, what you're doing, and then charging you based on that. So pretty interesting. This is article here kind of talks about the background of it, and what the technology was. It says here that they call it the just walk out technology, and it's made possible. This is from an Amazon spokesperson. Made possible by artificial intelligence like computer vision and deep learning techniques, including generative AI, to accurately determine who took what in any retail environment. Okay. So they have synthetic data sets. They have all these different things to like test it and track it, and but come to find out, reports realize that the team that checks all this, it's not really AI. It's just made up of more than 1,000 employees, primarily based in India. Um, Amazon spokesperson recently confirmed at the time that it does use human moderators, but it declined to say how many people it employs in these roles. But reports are saying like about 1,000 plus. And Business Insider also reported on this, but saying the just walkout is still very reliant on humans. And about 700 of the 1,000 sales, okay, just so every 700, 70% of the sales are reviewed by the India team. And they want to get it down to 50, but it's pretty much all of it. I mean, 3/4 of it is the India team just reviewing it. So the technology is clearly not there. What do you think about this? Do you think Amazon, this was their intention the whole time and they're just trying to like put a facade? Do you think this was like a stopgap for the meantime? What kind of implications is this? I want to get
Oh,
your take.
this this is this is not good for Amazon. Because I remember going going to the Amazon Go store in Seattle when it opened and thinking, wow, this is really cool that I can just put it in my cart. They know it and I can just walk out and it's already taken care of. Um, and the fact I think that's what they initially wanted to have happen, and then they realized that their technology couldn't keep up with it, and so they had this. But the fact that they were still purporting it as being generative AI and machine learning from that is terrible.
Yeah, do
And
you think there's lawsuit implications here? Do you think people are going to go after like false advertising at all or anything like that?
in order for that to happen, there would have to they would have to prove damages, and I don't know
You
how this
prove damages.
damages yeah
Mm.
how this damages anybody. So I don't know that there could be I don't know that there would be a viable lawsuit for this, other than Amazon just now has some really bad PR
Yeah.
for not telling the truth. And I think, had they said like, hey, we're working on this, but right now there's still a lot of human element before somebody found out. I think it would have been okay. People would have been willing to accept that. Um,
Yeah.
but the fact that somebody found it and exposed it now just has um, a bad taste in everyone's mouth for it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. There's definitely a bad taste in everyone's mouth. I'm going to question your statement though of if they would have come out at the beginning and said, "Yeah, we just have people in India reviewing your transactions." I wonder if people would actually be okay with that.
Probably people wouldn't have been okay with that, but I think they would have been a little bit more forgiving, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I also think, you know, this is like consumer trust issues. This is in my opinion, it just makes people question things more, and brand loyalty is deteriorated. And I think this is a bigger surprise blow than like if they would have said from the beginning, hey, we have this new product where you just walk in, you grab your stuff, you walk out. We review it manually. Humans review what you take, and we charge you. But you don't have to worry about checking out. You know, if they would have done it way by that, they don't need to say where they outsource and who they outsource the work to. But
Yeah.
it would have been maybe not as successful immediately, but there's a lot more like honesty and reliability and uh, brand loyalty, I think.
Yeah. And I think people really just cared about the convenience of being able to walk in and walk out.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree 100%. Hey, walk in, grab your stuff, walk out. We'll review it for you and charge you. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I
But,
agree.
but yeah, that's just the interesting thing that, it was really all human intervention anyway. That
Oh yeah. Yeah. Extremely embarrassing for Amazon. Extremely embarrassing. Um, to to advertise that you are innovating and being a disruptor and then to have it somewhat fall flat on your face. That's so embarrassing. So I thought it was funny. I
yeah.
just thought it was really funny.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm really glad that you brought this because
yeah,
if you hadn't, I was going to.
yeah, yeah, it's great. So I'll probably still be buying from Amazon.
Oh yeah, me too. Well, let's be honest. I still
Yeah,
probably have something coming like tomorrow.
yeah. There's always an Amazon package on my doorstep, whether it's from me or from my wife or sometimes my kids on like the Amazon Echo Show or whatever.
Uh,
Luca, my kid, Luca, he's my oldest. Um, he, I was on my phone and in my cart were like four different aquarium tanks because he's trying to like make aquarium. So I have like four different fish tanks of different sizes in my Amazon cart. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't buy these.
uh, that's funny.
Yeah, it is. But anyway, moving on.
Well, speaking of reputations, and someone who's never been worse, this is a bit of an older article, but I thought it was kind of cool. Now that Taylor Swift's Eras Tour has been on Disney Plus for a while, her Eras Tour has broken Disney's record as the number one streamed um, item of all time on Disney Plus. And, at a time where Disney was starting to lose subscribers because of their terrible content that they've been producing lately. Um, this was kind of their saving grace. At the time that this article was written, it had more than 4.6 million views in the first 3 days of release, making it the number one music film ever on the platform. And Swifties have watched 16.2 million hours of the blockbuster 3.5 hour concert film on Disney Plus. So it debuted back on March 14th, so almost a month ago, and includes some additional songs that um, weren't in the original theatrical release. However, now that it's been on there, it's still um, generating quite a bit of money. And the I believe it was a $35 million investment that Disney Plus put into this. Seems like it is paying off for them. So, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this was a great idea for Disney or just something that they were kind of grasping at straws to save their skins?
No, I think this is a great move by Disney. I think recently some of their decision making hasn't been the best, but this was actually very smart. Taylor Swift is probably the most iconic celebrity right now. I can't think of anyone else that's more iconic than Taylor Swift right now. Global tour. She had to expand her tour for another year because there's so much demand. And her movie, the when this was streaming in theaters, like 230 million or something like that. I honestly cannot think of another celebrity who has so much hype around them right now as Taylor Swift. I mean, just like I'm sure Disney learned from the NFL. As soon as NFL fans, actually, no, as soon as Taylor Swift fans found out Taylor was dating an NFL player, the NFL views skyrocketed.
Mhm.
Jersey sales skyrocketed. And so Disney saw that and thought, we need to get the rights for it. And I think it's a win-win for both. Taylor Swift got 75 million. That was the amount that they paid for the streaming rights. And I mean, Taylor, she probably didn't have the ability to stream it anywhere else uh, and get that kind of money. But like number one, Disney fans are fanatics. They're borderline crazy fanatics. I'm somewhat married to one. And then you have Taylor Swift fans on the other hand who are also just borderline crazy, who I'm also married to. So there's a lot of money in Disney plus Taylor Swift. That combination is, in my opinion, genius. So hats off to Disney. I think they're going to make bank from this. My wife has already watched it multiple times. One of them was like in a big group at our neighborhood. We have like a what do you call it? Like a community center,
Mhm.
and in there's like a big theater. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's a big TV there, and they had just like a huge gathering of all the wives and friends and moms and whatever. They all gathered together and watched it. I mean, I say they watched it, but when my wife came home, she's like, honestly, everyone just kind of talked. So um, I think it's genius. What are your thoughts here?
I think this was a genius move by Disney. I mean, to go from a point where they were losing subscribers to now at a point where they are um, back pretty much on top for streaming platform now, just because of this one move. And now that they have this, they're probably going to be on top for a while, just because of the fact that it's on there, regardless of what people think of Disney or not, just because the influence that Taylor Swift has, and I think the genius behind how she has marketed herself is phenomenal. And to your point, where I agree, I don't think there's going to be as there hasn't been, and it's going to be a while before anyone is going to be as influential as she is in the entertainment business.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think right now. I'm even pulling it. I'm like pulling. I don't think there's even that much hype around certain movie stars. Like for example, The Rock. If Dwayne The Rock Johnson came out with a new movie and it was streaming on a service, I don't think it's going to generate as much of a following, like a cult following, to
Yeah.
purchase that streaming service, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it would generate a cult following. I
Yeah,
mean, I mean he does have his own cult following, and I think he's um yeah,
I just don't think it rivals Taylor Swift's, right?
no. Yeah, she's on the HNL, a whole nother level.
Whole nother level. HNL. I agree, man. Just totally up there. So yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I have a question for
I believe like there was a story that came out that she just peaked that and hit that list now.
I mean, it's got if it hasn't happened yet, it's got to be close.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I believe
you know,
she has
Forbes posted
officially
2
hit
days
that
ago.
status. Yeah, with
Dude,
her
that is
Aris,
wild, bro.
Aris has just skyrocketed her earning potential that she can get from her content.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I was gonna say if it hasn't happened yet, it's gonna happen soon because she's getting there. That's just so crazy. Wow. Good for her.
Yeah,
Good for Disney. Yeah, smart move.
very smart. All right, what do you have for us?
Tesla said it's going to reveal its Robotaxi product coming August 8th. So Elon Musk went to his favorite social media outlet and posted that a Robotaxi is coming.
Yeah, he didn't tweet it.
Um, no, he posted. The tweets have been dead. They died. The birdie was shot with a BB gun. Elon Musk, BB gun manufactured by the Boring Company, shot that bird down.
Might have used the
Um,
flamethrower.
oh yeah, he burned the bird out of the loop. But um, the idea is they want to have fully autonomous vehicles. The technology that they call is level 3 automated vehicles. Um, and they're really pushing for it, especially with their push for end of quarter sales. Musk mandated that all sales and service staff install and demo the full self-driving option. Um, he wrote an employee to emails. Almost no one actually realizes how well supervised full self-driving actually works. I know this will slow down the delivery process, but is nonetheless a hard requirement. Um, so they're trying to really push this technology to make sure that it progresses and develops in order to have this robotaxi. So I don't think we've gotten any kind of idea what it'll look like or there's been a lot of news accidents about their autonomous vehicle in Arizona. I think there's like a whole city in Arizona, or at least suburb in Arizona, that was like specifically designed for Alphabet to test Waymo and the self-driving. Um, I don't think that's progressed significantly. I mean, I haven't really heard much about it, but there are other robo taxi concepts out there. China, it says in the article here that in China, Didi autonomous unit operates commercially in markets including Guangzhou. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't speak Chinese, so I apologize. But yeah, it's really interesting. I want to get your take here, Ethan. Robotaxi is kind of a it's somewhat of a mm, controversial topic. We'll say that. I think it's a controversial topic, but I want to get your take on it. What are your thoughts about robotaxis?
I like the notion of it. Um, like I've really like I've kind of watched how Waymo has been doing it, and I've seen users review their um, robot taxi. And I will say it's cool if it works.
Yeah.
Um, however, my experience with full self-driving with Tesla has kind of been hit or miss. I think it's really good when when it works, but I get really frustrated with it because I'm really full of myself, but I don't think it drives as good as I do.
Mm. I think
Uh,
that's fair. I think that's fair. I know you're a good driver. I've driven with you. Um, But I also think humans just have a much better ability, sense of awareness, predictability, like just calculating efficiency and where to move into different lanes.
True. And I, I think this is cool. I mean, like humans are very smart, but slow, and computers are very quick, um, very quick and very efficient, but dumb. And so I think like with the two of them together, working together, it makes something really it has some potential implications, and the computer has to um, make up for um, that deficiency. And I don't know whether, based on everything, I don't know if it's gonna come to fruition in August. I know Tesla has been purporting that this is coming. They've been saying that every year since like um, the one edge that I would say that Tesla has over Waymo is every vehicle that Tesla has on the road is a data point that they have. Right? Tesla um, is purely a data company before they are an auto company.
Yeah, we
Um,
talked about that. Yeah.
yeah, and so the fact that they are a data company, they leg up on um, anyone else just because they have such a wide fleet throughout the world.
Yeah, I agree actually. They do have a large advantage where they can leverage driving techniques and behaviors, and also the not just the inputs from the driver, but also right. That is an advantage that they do have. Um, I'm a little weary uh, of robotaxis. Um, I'm just a little cautious, I guess, of robotaxis, and I have a hard time giving up full control just because if I'm in control, then maybe I'm a control freak, but if I'm in control, then like I could be as calm that it's either my fault or the other person driving. But if I'm like in a robo taxi, it's hard for me to just give up that control. And also like from an interaction perspective, I don't know if you've ever been in a vehicle where like someone else is driving and you're like brake, 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 and like they realize, oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I have to brake. Slam, like no brakes. So I like the concept about it, but I have a really hard time with it. There's one movie that makes it Minority Report.
Mhm.
And in Minority Report, all the vehicles are automated and they're all in sync with each other too. And so that makes driving super efficient
Yeah.
because with humans, we driving and have a little bit more awareness, but then we also get distracted really easy. So at a red light, you've experienced this. The person in front of you, they're stopping when it turns green or stay stopped when it's green. Like get off the phone or
Yeah.
stop changing the radio or
That's
like
why my car needs missiles.
know,
I
do
know.
that right now. You're gonna go bankrupt from all the missiles you're buying. Kablam, kablam. Can you imagine a controller pops out, your Tesla screen, where to shoot? I mean, obviously that's terrible for the other drivers, but maybe not.
They're
Uh,
humane missiles,
yeah,
if there's such a thing.
yeah, if there's such a thing. But yeah, I have a hard time with robots to jump in one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that shit.
bring you bring up a really good point about like the vehicles being in sync. And I think if every vehicle talked to each other and was able to manipulate other vehicles, they were all talking at the same time, I think Robotaxi would make sense.
Oh yeah, one.
Um, because then based on what this car is doing, every other car is going to know what it's doing and can adapt to it and vice versa. Whereas you have robo taxis and you've got other people who have full control of their vehicles, they don't know what the robo taxi is doing, and it's going to be harder for them to adapt in real time to inputs from that robo taxi.
Yeah, yeah. I also think because humans are emotional and also distracted, we make sudden changes in our behavior, especially when we're driving. For example, like you're driving and you're talking to the passenger and you're chatting along, and all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, I gotta turn right here. And you're like, taxi is like, either behind you or around you. It's not humans aren't consistent enough to make it to have robots rely on how humans drive, adapt and react quickly. But I don't think our technology right now, from the full self-driving mode and just AI technology that's being leveraged for full self-driving or autonomy, I don't think it's fast enough to react to how fast human decision making. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I th you know, I like the idea. I'm still apprehensive a little bit. And I think if every vehicle was able to talk to each other, I think unless you can remove all human interaction out of it, I don't know if Robotaxi will be successful.
Yeah, I have a solution for that. Just removing the human element altogether. My idea, I don't think anyone's ever thought of this, implanting a chip in your brain. Tell me about this idea. What do you think? Chip in your brain, huh? Let's call it Neuralink.
Neuralink.
Let's
Yeah.
call it Neuralink. Oh wait, someone else is already doing that.
Yeah. You know that
Is just to automate literally everything,
everything. Yeah.
humans included.
I wonder if he's taken the Iron Man approach of the most vulnerable aspect of human resources is the human element. So let's remove it.
Ooh, view that as like this is the greater good that needs to happen. You know,
Hmm.
I feel like he's that type of person,
Yeah.
whereas others may not be. But
Yeah. He might say that
anyway,
we need to get rid of half of all humanity.
just pulled out.
Uh, Um, well, we want to make sure that you don't remove the human element by making sure you give us a thumbs up.
Yes.
So that thumbs up really does help our channel and helps the algorithm. So thumbs up if you liked it. They could really use this video. As always, ring-a-ling that ding-a-ling button so you never miss any content as it's posted on the channel. So until next time, stay classy and have a great evening.
Peace.